So not going nowhere. When we come back from this quick turn, we'll be going all the way to ASSIN North. My colleague Henry BADU is there together with Annie F1 and some other of our colleagues here on Metro TV. We'll bring all the what's happening there. Tomorrow is the big day for the by-election. Who wins what? We'll bring you all that after the break. Stay with us. Welcome back. You're still watching Good Afternoon Ghana here on Metro TV. Let's now go straight to ASSIN North, where my colleague Henry BADU is currently on standby for all the details, and also KWESI is also there as well. Now, both MPP and NDC have expressed satisfaction with modalities instituted for the conduct of the ASSIN North by-election by the Ghana Police Service. Security measures put in place include the ban on use of motorbikes in closed perimeters of election grounds, carrying of weapons, and use of parallel security agents. It was also adopted that police guards of members of parliament and ministers of state shall not carry their weapons to election grounds. Police had, however, officially announced the presence of the police anti-robbery squad, which according to police has been around even before the by-elections, and that they will have no business with the elections. And so my colleague Henry BADU is up next to give us all the details. Henry, if you can hear me, I mean, what can you tell us? What is happening now?
Hello, Rice.
Right.
I can hear. Yes. Okay, so, I'm currently at the St. Andrew's School, where the NDC is holding its last meeting before the by-election tomorrow. Here, the NDC is camped right behind me, where some leaders of the party, we are aware that the campaign manager and the communications officer of the NDC, Sami Jemfe, is in there. The minority leader is in there. I've cited the minority chief whip, and a lot of MPs like Sam George and all the bigwigs, the youth organizer of the party, George Apareado, and all of them, they are in there. This meeting follows the highly powered delegation meeting that was held organized by the IGP. The IGP met them at the Agogo State College, where the members or the high hierarchy of the Electoral Commission, together with some top echelons of the MPP and that of the NDC, met. And what you read is the communique that was released, or what they agreed on doing.
Right.
So what they said was that weapons were not going to be carried onto the election grounds. The ministers and people or some top dignitaries who have personal weapons will not even hold them during and after the election, until the election is over, before they hold them. So that is what is going to happen. But we are told that the NDC is holding a training section for its members. That is the agents that are going to be on the ground, that are going to be the polling agent for the NDC. So we've been told that the bigwigs of the NDC are going to be the ones being the polling agents of the party. We saw what happened in Kumeu, where people like Okudjota Blackout, the MP for North Town, was a polling agent. We saw a lot of MPs who were polling agents. The same thing transpired on the side of the MPP. So, just because this election is very, very critical, and if I say it is very critical, we know the reason why it's critical. In Parliament now, the NDC has 135 members minus the ASSIN North seat that was initially held by them, but we all know what happened. The Supreme Court annulled the elections of James KWESI, declaring his election null and void, and they had to organize another by-elections. So the MPP will want to win the seat to ensure that they have 138 members. Even if it happens that the second deputy speakers, either Joe Osei-Wusu or the other member of parliament is in a seat, they would have a strong 137 MPs against NDC's 135. The NDC will also want to win the elections, so they have 136 members, so that anytime the Speaker of Parliament, Alban Smano Kingsford Barbane, is not available, and we have any of the second deputy speakers sitting in a seat, it becomes 135 on both sides, so that if they would have to vote, it could go for a tie. And we've seen what has transpired since that is the 7th of January 2021, even with the elections of Speaker what was his name? Abba Sumano came so bad, but we saw what happened when some people had to steal some of the ballot papers. That is the member of parliament for Tema West, Carlos Ahimgra, stole the ballot paper just because it was a tie. So it is really, really crucial. It is gearing up. Tensions are really high. Yesterday, we saw the rally that happened at ASSIN Breku. We are currently at ASSIN Fosu. There will not be any election here because this is Kennedy Akomprekwe Japan's constituency, but the NDC has chosen to hold its final meeting here. So, Bright, if you ask me, that is what is happening here. The NDC is training its members, the agents that will be at the polling station. We'll be bringing you exclusives all over the place. We've spoken a lot of them. Watch out for news now, a lot of stories that we are going to bring up. But we've been told that immediately after the meeting, the campaign manager for James KWESI, in the person of Sam Nante George, will be addressing the press here. That is why we've pitched camp here. So we are waiting for him to address the press and speak to us and tell us what is happening. So, Bright, if you ask me in way of initial remarks on what is transpiring on the ground, that is all the details I could provide. That is what is happening here, Bright.
Right now, I'm still going to ask you this question. I mean, it's been asked over and over and over again. I mean, ASSIN North right now is the hottest in the country as we speak. The people, few eyes to the 27th of June for the elections to be done. What is the euphoria like currently? How are they feeling?
Yeah, a lot of the people in the community or in the constituency are really upbeat. They are optimistic about the elections. And when you come here, I think there are two songs that are really popular here. There's a song, I don't know, Bright, if you know about it. It goes like Fanifom, just because the NDC's candidate is number 3 on the ballot.
Right.
So when they say Fanifom, it means that I see. So when you go, you need to vote for the NDC's candidates down there. The MPP also has a tune. Also, look up there, because their candidate is number 1 on the ballot. There is a candidate for the LPG who is contesting. She's a lady, but there hasn't been a lot heard about her. But the battle is obviously between the MPP and the NDC. So the people in the constituency are really happy. Some of them are really happy and excited about the fact that there's a lot of development that is happening in the area just because of the by-election that will be held tomorrow. You go to most of the communities like ASSIN Breku, that is like the capital of the district. You go there, that is the biggest community in there. You see a lot of roads, town roads, inner roads. Today, I posted a video of a machine that was working on one of the roads, just because yesterday when it rained and the president, Nana Danko Akufo-Addo, and all the people, including the vice president and all the bigwigs of the MPP, attended the event at the Methodist Park at ASSIN Breku. The roads were in some terrible state because of the rains. But there are machines working, even hours to the by-election. It's less than 24 hours to the election, but the MPP is still doing a lot of work, or government is still doing a lot of work. We are told that when you go to some of the inner communities or some of the adjoining communities of the capital, you will see buses of the NHIS undertaking registrations in the area, all in an effort to ensure that they ramp up some votes in these areas. So the residents, most of them are really happy. Some also feel that as it happened in Kumeu, they will start some of these projects, but immediately after the by-election, most of these projects will be abandoned. So it's a sort of mixed reactions amongst them, but most of them are really happy and excited about the fact that the by-election has improved economic activities. Things that were sold at 5 cities here are sold as 10 cities. Yesterday, my driver Prosper said he went to a fufu joint to go and eat, but he was told that some fish or meat that was sold as 10 cities is now being sold as 20 cities. So that is what is happening here, So, right, a lot of people are really happy. They are raking in some cash. They are making a lot of money. They are very optimistic. Most of them have even said that tomorrow they will not move to their farms because this area is a farming community.
Right.
They do a lot of cocoa, but they say they will not move to their farms. They will go straight to the polling stations to go and cast their ballot to ensure that their preferred candidate win the election. Right.
Now, Henry, interestingly, we saw the vice president walk through the rain a few days ago to an astroturf that was being opened there. We saw him in the rain walking without umbrella. all very active and all that. We saw what happened at Ayawaso West, where my lady's election, where we saw posters of hers on the floor and all that. We saw what happened at Kumewu when roads were being constructed and all that. Few minutes or few hours to the elections, they were still working. After elections, reports came in that they've stopped and all that. In as much as they are claiming that it wouldn't stop after elections, people don't really have the trust like that. Now, let's talk about the fact that musicians are also coming in. We saw Burma Sydney also sing a song during the NPP campaign and all that. Questions are being asked. People are complaining there's hardship in the country, but during the rallies, we've seen the number of people who gathered there to listen to the president. I mean, for the residents in the area, okay, what exactly do they seek to achieve? Are they really interested in just the immediate construction or the immediate improvement they are getting in the community, or they are looking for something more aside just the elections that will be happening tomorrow?
Yeah, right. If you ask me, most of this electorate or the people in the constituency, yesterday we saw a lot of people come out. The aged, the young, people who useful, exuberant were all in town and catching a glimpse of the president. As you said, some of the entertainers who were in town, we saw Ejako, who is a known person when it comes to the governing New Patriotic Party. He joins them on their rallies. They have a lot of fun and all of that, you know, in there. We've also seen another side of the Kumewood people who are also in town. Yesterday when we came, it was like a battle of Jama and campaigning. Because on the main street of ASSIN Breku, some of these people were there enjoying themselves, having a lot of fun, campaigning and ensuring that the electorate hear their voice and vote for their preferred candidate, Bright. But if you ask me, most of the constituents they are thinking about, you know, what the future holds for them. Some of them believe that, yes, since the NPP won in 2016, when President Nana Addo Akufo-Addo was made president on the 7th day of January 2017, they've not really seen that much improvement in the area. They would want to compare the last elections, that is in the 2020 elections, over 3,700 people voted more for James KWESI.
Right.
But you know, what the NPP is saying is that they believe that just because the skirt and blouse, what we call the skirt and blouse happened here, the member of parliament for the people, or the former member of parliament for the people of ASSIN North, didn't really have that kind of interaction with the president. That is why developments were kind of stagnant here. They didn't see a lot of development, but they believe that once they vote for someone who is an MPP person, who has ties with the presidency, who has ties with the vice president, who has ties with the chief of staff, as Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia said yesterday, they will see a lot of development in the area. Most of them are looking for the long-term goal, not just because of the by-election. I've told you earlier that some of them don't want to see what transpired in Kumewu happen here, because they believe that after the Kumewu elections, most of the projects that were being done there were abandoned. They don't want to see those things happen. Some of the people we even spoke to yesterday told us that, yes, we will vote for the MPP, but when we vote for the MPP and they abandon these projects, 2024 is not that far. What we will do is that when 2024 comes, we'll vote against them. So most of these people, Bright, if you ask, are really open-minded and thinking about the future. They would want to see what the future holds for them. They want to see a lot of development come into the constituency. So that's what they want to see, Bright, if you ask me.
I'll let you leave us in a few minutes, but before you do that, I want to find out, you are currently situated at exactly where Kennedy Japan has a lot of votes. I mean, most of his people are there. Why has the NDC chosen to make that place the headquarters for their meetings and press briefings? Have you been able to find out that?
very interesting. But I don't know the motive behind it. Maybe it's because of space. Because the ASSIN Breku is not quite as huge as ASSIN Fosu. ASSIN Fosu is very huge. It's a very beautiful place, you know. When we go here yesterday, the people are very receptive. They have some beautiful hotels here, some beautiful structures, and this is a school. So maybe they belong. You can see the numbers that are behind me. Some are even behind the camera. A lot of them who are here. So I'm sure maybe they chose this particular location for just the space and not because it is Kennedy Japan's, you know, constituency. But right, I must add that I have never seen in all my time that I've been a journalist, the number of police personnel, I've covered by elections in the past, but the number of police personnel that have been put in this constituency. We are told that the IGP told the political parties that over 3,000 of them, right, if you move about, I think about 1 kilometer, you see a police barrier, the police people will search your vehicle and all of that. When we were going to the ASSIN State College, they had to take the number of our vehicle, take our driver's name, Prosper, and they asked that what we had in our car. You know, so rigorous kind of checks happening. Yesterday in the evening, we had to come to ASSIN Fosso, but when we were going back to ASSIN Breku, somewhere around 12 a.m., there were still policemen, you know, on these barriers, ensuring that some of these things that we saw in the Ayawaso West, Wogon, and all these other places that by elections have been held, doesn't repeat itself, you know, or the use of offensive weapons. And I've seen a lot of their pickups here, because, you know, most of the communities are hard to reach. So if you don't have a four-wheel drive, you'll struggle to get there. So most of this, the police personnel have their pickups. So it's going to be interesting. The NDC has already said that they don't want to see any military interference in here. They don't want to see, because this is the work of the police. They believe that the police has the mandate to protect the peace and security of this election. So they don't want to see any military person or any military personnel. Yeah, but right, before I go, I'll be joined by some two gentlemen. One is a member of the Concerned Drivers Association. His name is David Abuado. David,
right.
Join me here. Another person who is a member of the Fix the Country movement. His name is Raf. Raf will join me to my right. I'll speak to them briefly before I wrap up with you, right? David, you are here. Yesterday I saw you campaign rigorously for the NDC. Why so? This is, yes, I know that you have a lot of issues with the price of fuel, the increase in price of spare parts, the general, you know, livelihood, or, you know, the cost of living and all of that. You have a lot of issues there. But why are you in ASSIN North to specifically campaign for the candidate of the NDC?
Thank you very much. We are campaigning for the candidate of NDC on two fields. The first one is about our life. Because Parliament, once we have enhanced Parliament these days, you can see what is going on. Things that are supposed not to be passed are not supposed to be passed. And if we leave this crucial election to only politicians to do it, will have effect on our pockets and our workplaces. That's why we are here. The second one is, you see, what is going on in the country right now, we are all saying it. Things are changing daily basis. You go to market today, you buy tomatoes, like 1 for 10 cedis. Now you go tomorrow, it's 1 for 15 cedis. And things are very costing, and it's affecting us. If we leave, this is a testing time for, we drivers are saying, this election is not about ASSIN North alone, it's about 2024. Okay. The reason why it's 2024 is, ASSIN seat is very swing. It goes here or goes there. And this time around, if we leave it for Nanado and his team, we will waste our energy, our resources, our everything. The little that we are, do you know that we drivers, it is our industry that is very lucrative. That gives Ghana even 70% of everything. Because if you transport cocoa, it's drivers. If you transport crude, it's drivers. You transport even passengers, even the voters tomorrow. We drivers are going to do it. And banks have collapsed. Networks like broadcasting and other things have collapsed under this government. We drivers, we don't want to say it. That's why we are here, to vote for KWESI.
But do you have a vote here?
Our drivers, our members, you know, we are concerned drivers. Okay. We have the members over here. Okay. We have the traders. You see, drivers and traders, we're like, I can't say Bafani form. Okay. We are like brothers and sisters. So we have our members that are traders. We have our members that are drivers. We have them here. And we are here to tell them to vote wisely. And the vote that they are going to do is to fund a form. I'm on fund a form, okay. Simple as that. It's number 3. And we know that we have the God, the Trinity, God the Father, God the Son, and God the Holy Spirit. Okay. And KWESI have all. You have God the Father, you have God the Son, and you have God the Spirit. So we want him to win. Okay, sure. Simple as that.
All right. Thank you very much. I'll come back to you, but I would want to know, what is Fix the Country, your movement? what is your business with the ASSIN elections?
Fix the country stand for the future of the youth. Fix the country stand for the generation that is coming. It is very sad that we went to Kumewu to experience what happened there. My brother, when we went to Kumewu, you saw roads that were being constructed, you saw monies that were being shared, flaunting a lot
Have
of...
you seen same here?
you have been here for more than a week.
I've seen the roads, but you know there are other things, other inducement and all that. Exactly. There have been allegations and all of that. Have you seen some?
That is why we are here. You asked why we are here. We are also going around conscientizing the minds of the people for them to understand that elections is about your future. Elections is about the decision you make for your children to come. This is the situation where you find people going around sharing monies that can't even take care of them as we speak, considering our economic structure or status as a country. And we have people going around sharing 10 cities, 50 cities. My brother, yesterday somebody made an utterance or uttered a statement that really hurts me so much. Okay, that yes, MPD, Yakonwa, Otia, Yaba school fees, Maye, or Nona, Esha, Yamba hostels, Otiotia Maye, Internuntia, Tuama MP. And I ask myself, do you even know the responsibilities of a member of parliament? So we don't even know this. And we flaunt ourselves, we gallivant ourselves in the street as youth of this country, following people blindly. In fact, yesterday, Nanado Dankwa made a statement. He was actually referring to himself. Okay? And I will say it in Chi as he said it. That's a move pobia, Mobetuaba man and fast one in a hua. Now, yeah.
I'm coming. I wouldn't want it. It is the contest. I'm coming.
It was a statement the president made.
Relax. We are speaking to our audiences, so I would want them to have an understanding. When you look at the context of the statement, you know, the way he put it, it was a long statement. He was talking about, he was making a point and he came. See, it was just a slip of tongue. I'm not sure you can fault him for that. It was just a slip of tongue, even though he didn't come back to correct it. But it's not to say that the person or the MPP candidate or the MPP's candidate was useless. It was just a slip of tongue. So
I am not saying, I am also making the same statement in context.
No, but you need to...
No, let me land so that you get what I'm saying. For Nanado to have a slip of tongue, to say the member of parliament they are going to be voting for, or he was standing there with, to be useless. In fact, he was referring to himself. Because Akufo-Addo has been the useless president ever.
We won't place.
Okay, if you want me to retract that statement, I can
retract, and let's move on. Let's have a very good discourse. You know, people are watching.
I retract being useless, but I will want you to help me. Give me a right word I can use for somebody who knows that the people demand a good road, but then will drive on that muddy road he drove on yesterday to go and stand on a podium to tell the people that they are Mpuntujuma Mamo. Where was the Mpuntujuma? In fact, Nanado Dankwa Akufo-Addo promised the youth of this country that he's going to build and industrialize this country. True or not? Ever since you came here, have you seen the industries here? No. The people here are saying they are farmers. Go around, speak to them. In your intro, I heard you say that. All right, that the people of this community are all farmers. And in fact, we expected the Agric Ministry to have invested a lot of money in the youth of this community so that they wouldn't migrate from here to Accra to come and sell nose masks and do kaya yes and other stuff in Accra. We stand for the youth of this country, and we are here to make sure that we will conscientize the people to understand that this election is about, for the politicians, it's about their future. But you as a youth of this country, it is about your future as well. What do you deserve? What do you need as a citizen? That is what should drive you to the polls. And yet tomorrow, when you're casting your ballot, look at yourself, ask yourself questions. Don't be in a force. Okay, just relax and ask yourself, I am a fellow Ghanaian, and what do I deserve as a fellow Ghanaian? If it is a good road, ask yourself, do you have it? If it is jobs, ask yourself, do you have it? In fact, this same government, Bawumia promised Ghanaians that he is going to make sure that when it comes to renting, okay, he's going to reduce the amount of money we've been paying for rental. Tell me right now, are we as citizens, youth of this country, being comfortable?
The national rental scheme?
Exactly. And if you are living in this community, you don't have job as a youth, you don't have no livelihood. And you have to also, yesterday, even at their rally grounds, look at the road. The main road, that's very good. We give credit to them for them at least upgrading it. But look at the road they used to go to the same place they had their rally. It speaks it all. Nana Danko Akufo-Addo couldn't point 1, 2, 3 things he has done for the people of ASSIN South, North. So what should the youth go to the post to go and cast? What are they going to consider to go and vote for this candidate?
Sure, I hear. Thank you very much, Ralph Williams is with the Fix the Country movement, and he has some interesting analysis. Right, I'll leave it here. If you have any question, you can ask me. If not, I'll leave it here so you continue in the studio. Some interesting analysis coming from some of the people who are here. So we are waiting for Sami Jemfi, who is the National Communications Officer of the NDC, to update us on what they will be doing from now up until tomorrow. What we'll be doing this evening is to find some of the hard-to-reach communities to give our viewers a feel of how it feels like for people to be here. Luckily for us, the rain, there has not been any rains today. We are hoping it continues throughout the night through tomorrow so that we can give our viewers some kind of smooth coverage of the election. So, right, that is it from me here at the St. Andrews School at ASSIN Fosu in the ASSIN Central Constituency, Kennedy Akompreko, Japan's constituency. So, right, if you have anything, you can ask me. If not, we'll leave it here.
All right, Henry, thank you so much. We are actually out of time, and up next is the intimate review. Thank you so much. And don't forget that the NDC are being selected, the zone for Kennedy, Japan, to go and meet there, have their press conference. Isn't that interesting? This has been Good Afternoon Ghana here with me, Bright Nana KWESI, and System Adatum again. But don't forget, tomorrow, the 27th of June, is going to be an all-day coverage of the ASSIN North elections, by-elections. Who takes home the leading votes? Have a good afternoon, and bye.